Ugh, I'm so tired of the 9 to 5 grind. I wish I could transition to full-time blogging.
Right?
Hey, get back to work.
Can't believe that guy.
Day job suck.
I'll show you the dark side.
Ugh, I need out of this rat race.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
If you are looking for a proven plan to quit your day job so you can blog full-time, well, you're in luck. This is that video.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yep.
I feel you. And don't get me wrong, everything I'm about to share in this video is still going to be hard. It's always going to be hard. But I personally know several creators, not one or two people, several folks who have done the exact path that I'm going to share with you today in order to ditch the mind-numbing day jobs. In fact, I'm going to share their examples with you, specifically the 10-step path to actually doing this right and actually making it happen in your life. And the first part is the prerequisites. Everybody is going to have to do the following 4 steps. Number 1, quite frankly, this is silly, it sounds silly, but it's so vital. You need to talk to your spouse and or your family in order to get everybody on board. Everybody who knows you and has a personal investment in your career and your financial well-being, they need to be clued in on what you're doing. Seriously, don't skip this part. This is actually very important. Step number 2 is to know your numbers. I was actually just interviewing Jamila Soufran, a personal finance expert and podcaster who, by the way, has quit her own job. And we came up with the 3 numbers that you absolutely need to know. Number 1, you need a living fund. Think of this kind of like an emergency fund, but you need a stash of money when you quit your job that you can literally live off of. Put food on your table as you're growing your business and your blog and your freelance income and that sort of stuff. It's nice to have a little reserve there. The second number you need to figure out right this second is your NOIS revenue number. As in, this is the amount of money you would be making every single month that you would look at and be like, NOIS, as in your ideal revenue. And the third number you need to know is your not gonna die number, as in it's not quite as much as your ideal revenue amount, but you could survive off of this amount of money each and every month from your business. So I really can't drive this point home enough. Quitting your job to do full-time entrepreneurship is largely a question about money. The last thing you want is to be super stressed over money like 3 weeks after you quit your job. You're gonna have to transition smoothly and be able to take care of yourself and your family, and that first step comes from knowing your numbers. Step number 3 in this entire strategy is to identify your oh shit strategy, i.e. your backup plan. I.e., could I go back to my current job in 6 months or 12 months if this doesn't work out? Could I get another similar job if this doesn't work out? Not only is this nice to just think through for thinking through purposes, this is gonna alleviate so much stress and anxiety once you quit your job, just having a plan in place in case things don't work out and you say, oh shit, your backup plan for if this doesn't work. Step number 4 in this process is to set a timeline for this whole experiment. And this is closely related to making a living fund, the number that you can survive on for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, however you give yourself to make this thing a success. And I was actually reminded of my friend Chelsea from Smart Money Mamas who did this when she quit her job. So I asked her about it.
When I left my job, we looked at our financial cushion and knew that we had about 2 years of zero income before I'd really have to go get another job. And so I gave myself that long to turn my blog, which at that point had no income, into a full-time business. We set milestones along the way where we wanted to be at 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, but I knew that I was going to be completely all in on the blog for those 2 years to see what I could make happen.
Brilliant. So, okay, those are the 4 prerequisites. Before you do anything else, you've got to have a backup plan in place and know your numbers, the financial numbers that you need to make happen, as well as get a fund going, an emergency fund, a living fund, and set a timeline for this little experiment. I'm gonna give it 6 months, I'm gonna give it 12 months. All right, now for the good stuff. Are you ready? The rest of the steps. So here's an overview of the next 6 steps. Number 1, strategic freelancing. Number 2, producing lazy content. Number 3, small products. Number 4, quit your job. Number 5, big products and or scale. Number 6, Awesomesauce or the oh shit strategy. So step number 1, strategic freelancing. I don't care what you say, freelancing is where it's at for making money quickly to get rid of that day job. I'm always reminded of my good buddy Nick True from Mapped Out Money. He started freelancing full time. It's still like another 40, 50 hour a week job, but that allowed him to travel more in his RV and also get key connections in his personal finance industry, as well as learn a ton of different marketing skills he used to build his own brand. And now freelancing, he still does it, but it makes up a significantly smaller portion of his overall income. Now he has workshops and products and YouTube ad revenue and all sorts of great stuff. But here's the thing, you can't just go out and get any freelancing gig. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about being very strategic and choosing a freelance path that is related to what you want to be doing down the road in your industry, in your niche. My good friend Liz Wilcox at Liz Wilcox, she had recently sold her blog actually and decided she was going to do more on copywriting and email marketing and sales and launches and stuff like that. She wants to be like an influencer in that space. So of course she got a client. She's been freelancing and she's leveraging the freelance clients and the freelance work to A, get better at her niche, her industry, whatever that is. B, support herself while she grows an audience. I'm just gonna say that again. She leverages freelancing to support herself so she doesn't have to get a day job while she builds an audience. If you wanna stop watching this video right now, go ahead. Click X out of it, because that is the biggest part of this plan right here. Freelancing for a while or a year or two in order to save yourself time so you build an audience, which then you can leverage for the big bucks. And by the way, there's one more benefit to this, especially if it's related to your niche, your industry, your topic, whatever that is, it builds your authority. Now you can Liz can point to her freelance clients and be like, look what I did for this person. Boom, sales, boom, results, boom, success. Look what I've done for all these people. And doing that freelance work also sets us up for step number 7 here. That's 7. Step number 7 is to produce lazy content. I'm gonna say lazy content because I don't mean you should be full on producing 3 blog posts a week, 1 YouTube, 1 podcast in order to grow your audience as fast as humanly possible. You don't need to grow your audience that fast with this strategy I'm laying out because you're leveraging that freelance income, which pays you a lot more, a lot faster than growing the audience. But you need to produce some content in order to continue building authority, get the early stages of the audience snowball rolling, and also to straight up attract new freelance clients. Somebody who does this really well is Melody from The Course Consultant, who, by the way, is taking this exact same path to building up her audience and digital products and big courses and sales and memberships, starting with that freelance career. She does podcasts and Facebook Lives, and she's actually repurposing content, which is also lazy, a good kind of lazy. And she's doing it to help attract more people that are going to pay her for her services. She's attracting freelance clients and leads from this content, as well as building an audience and building authority. And by the way, I need to tell you the real meaning behind lazy. I mean, you just get to showcase the freelance work you are doing. That's why I said choose a freelancing path very intentionally, because you want to be able to attract clients from your content that you want to be doing 6 months from now, a year from now. And you can also just highlight the work you're doing for your clients, be a champion of your clients in your content. That's a lazy way to create content, and sign me up, I'll read that all day long. Real case studies, real examples from your freelance clients. So before I lose you, what have we done? We've identified the numbers, the financials that we need to hit and we want to hit. We've got our emergency fund, starting to save up for that so we can actually quit. But before we quit our jobs, we are being very intentional about building up a freelance portfolio, or really just starting with get one client. Don't worry about all the portfolio stuff. Get one client right now. By the way, start charging no less than $200 ever. $200 to $300, and then work your way up to $500 to $800. And you should hopefully be getting to a point after a couple of months, if you're really actively pursuing this, where you might be able to charge $1,000, $1,500, and $2,000 and above for your services. Again, it has to be related to what you want to be doing long term. Okay, step number 7 in this entire process is to start creating smaller products. No, I'm not talking about $300, $400, $500 courses. You don't really have the audience for that, and you don't really need to sell that to freelance clients. What you want to be doing is creating the $10, $20, $50, $100 tools, resources, checklist, templates, mini trainings, stuff like that. You're going to be able to give these to your freelance clients for free. You're going to let them use these little tools and resources you're building in your niche, and you're going to start to ramp up the sales. You're gonna charge your audience like 10, 20, 50 bucks for it. You're probably not gonna get a whole lot of sales, but what you're really doing is getting the data, getting the information so you can build that up into a high ticket offer once you have your audience. Again, I'll mention Melody actually, because she created lots of printables and templates and little small tools like that she was kind of using for her freelance work, that sort of stuff, and now she can sell it to her small but growing audience. And later on, that's gonna turn into full-on courses and memberships. Liz Wilcox, doing the same thing. Right now, she only has like 1 or 2 products that's right in that $20 price range, 20-minute newsletters, but she's building up to launch like big intensives and courses and workshops and stuff like that once her audience continues to grow. So step number 8 is to quit your job when you've built up that living fund and you have hit your not gonna die revenue number. Let me say that again. So you've been building up for freelance, you've been working on building that living fund. I don't know how much it is, $20,000, $10,000, enough to live off of for quite a while. Once you have that saved up and you're pulling in your not gonna die revenue number, quit your job. Step number 9, bigger products. Start to scale. Start the timeline. That clock is ticking now. You got 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years, whatever it is. Now is when you go all in. You continue freelancing as long as you need to keep your revenue numbers up, as well as leverage that into content, audience, growing more and better freelance clients, higher paying freelance gigs, as well as attracting an audience. This part is huge, and you want to make that leap from small ticket items, small products, just getting data and testing and seeing what people want and what they don't want, into now I have an audience of 1,000 people, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people I can start charging higher ticket items for. And the last step, step number 10 in this process, is either awesome sauce or the strategy. That is, you've either made it and you can continue to do this longer, or you fall back on your backup plan. You go and get another job. You supplement your income however you need to in order to best serve your financial future. So what have we talked about? We've talked about, first and foremost, get your family on board. Next, know your numbers. You need to have a living fund of money just in case you're not making very much or you have down months. I don't know what that is, but you got to figure it out. You also have to figure out your like ideal revenue number, your nice revenue number. That's your goal. That's what you're shooting for. And you got to figure out your not gonna die number. This is what I need. This is what my family needs in order to provide for our future, put food on the table for 2 years, a year, whatever that is. At that point, you set your timeline, you start freelancing. Not just any freelancing, be intentional. Stay within your niche, your topic, your industry. Find work doing the work you know you're gonna need to get better at and learn in order to grow your own business. Produce content along the way, growing that audience and growing your authority. A great way to do that is just to talk about your work, talk about the work you're doing with freelancing stuff, champion them and their products and services and the work you've been doing for them. Use those results in your content and your marketing and stuff like that. That attracts new, better clients and also an audience. Start small with your tools and resources and your products. Build some stuff that you can use with your clients. Release it early to beta testers, like $10, $30, whatever that is. Smaller products, smaller courses, smaller trainings. Once you are, routinely hitting your not gonna die number, quit your job, then you're all in. Now you gotta scale. Continue growing the audience. Continue refining your products and your offers so you can turn them into big ticket items, memberships and courses and stuff like that. Keep freelancing as long as you need to. And then, if it doesn't work, go back to your job. It's okay, and feel good about it. You gave it a shot. Even if you fail, you gave it a shot. And most people never take that chance, so kudos to you. If you enjoyed this video or anything I do at Doobie and Blog, smash the like button and or drop me a comment. I wanna hear if you've quit your job already, how that went, what did you do? Or if you're looking to do this, what are you most scared of? What are you most fearing? And then how can we make that happen? Drop me a comment below this video. I love you guys. See you later, Blog Tribe. Adios.
Have a nice day.
See you later.